Oh, I forgot the other question. The Doom game. It's very good. I've played through it like almost twice now, like fully. They actually ramped up the difficulty too, like on especially on Nightmare. I really like it feels very Doomy. It's still like, very like Doom game, but also plays different from Eternal. Like, I really like watching videos of like Hugo Martin. He's like the game director, and he like talks like really well about how they design stuff. And the analogy you use, like, and like that I feel is kind of apt. For Doom Eternal, you're like, like a Ferrari, like you're like, like a fighter, you're just like kind of zooming around, like sniping the demons, like, quick switching weapons, headshotting everything. You're like, it's very kind of like laser precise versus like the Doom Dark Ages. And you're still like, like in Doom Eternal, you're a very unstoppable machine, but you're like more of a kind of glass cannon. Like you're destroying everything, but the moment like you kind of stop or you stumble, like you get hurt or you die. With Doom, so you kind of have to kind of constantly keep like moving and zooming around. With Doom Dark Ages, like there's still quite a bit of movement, but you have the shield. And generally, the Slayer, he feels very heavy, like a tank, or like Dio Martin, like he's like what if he's like heavy, like a truck. Like there's one thing I really like that's like super fun is like in the previous two games, there's no fall damage. Like you can fall as far as you want, like nothing happens. With Doom Dark Ages, I like to say there is fall damage. When you fall from really far, there's fall damage. It's just not for Doomslayer. It's for all the demons that are near you. Because like if you fall from really high up, all the demons literally just explode. And so it's like like literally like playing it like it feels like you're like a cannonball. And you have the shields. Like if you have like a in Doom Eternal, one of the worst things that could happen to you is you end up like in a corner, you end up surrounded by a bunch of demons attacking you, you're pretty much dead. Like you need to make sure so you don't get to that point where you get cornered. With Doom Dark Ages, because you have the shield, like you can actually like when the demons attack you actually parry them, and then like all of the weapons, they're designed to kind of work with the parry mechanic. Like, for example, Chain Shot, which is sort of like this ball gun. If you parry correctly, it fully charges it, which like does a huge amount of damage. Or my favorite, the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher, there's splash damage. So if you shoot a demon that's too close, it hurts you, and it can hurt you quite a bit. But if you parry, then for a short time, the splash damage heals you. So you can literally get in the face of a big demon, have him like, and especially the big demons, they will try to attack you, with a parry will attack, like if you're close, so you get like really in their face, they will attack you, you parry, you shoot them in the face, with the rocket launcher, heal up, they'll try to attack you again, parry, shoot them, heal up, or like you get like into this kind of, like, I like how like Hugo Martin likes to call it a dance, like you kind of, like the game has like its dance, and you have to learn the dance, and that's how you get like really good at the game. And Doom Eternal, it has like its own form of dance, and Doom Dark Ages, it also has like the dance is different, but it still feels very Doom. It feels like you're kind of tearing everything up, just doing a bit of it is in a different way. And it's one of the things I like is because like with Doom 2016, it's hard, like once you play Eternal, it's kind of harder to go back to it because like Doom Eternal feels like a ramped up 2016, like, and then 2016 feels like much slower. And it's kind of, you don't have the dash, you don't have as much running, the demons are kind of sluggish in comparison, like they're just kind of waddling around. With Doom Eternal and Doom Dark Ages, I feel like they don't take away from each other, they both kind of stand on their own. And they're both like very fun, like once you kind of like learn, the Doom dance for each one of them, like it becomes like super fun and get it into the flow of the fight. And there's like a lot of like really cool things, like the like it's a very different kind of design, like the level design, like the levels are very big, like this game, like you kind of like move around kind of like a lot, but you can also kind of zoom around quite a bit. So it's very like it's very enjoyable. Like I've been kind of playing through it. I've like replayed a bunch of levels multiple times and kind of been playing again, especially since they also like they bump up the difficulty. So like there's some things like you cannot, like they kind of tweak that. So there's some things you cannot get away with. I was watching the live stream with Hugo Martin. He was like, they have like statistics so they can, tell how much people are dying on each difficulty. And it was like, people are not dying enough on Nightmare. You're supposed to be dying more, so they kind of ramped up a few things. And there's like few things like, where you used to get away with it, that you don't anymore. Like, for example, like there's some attacks like where you could like shield them and you would keep your shield. Now, like, you're gonna lose your shield, and one of the things in Dark Ages, if you lose your shield, that can be a very quickly a death sentence, because then you cannot parry the attacks, and the demons can be very, very aggressive. It's very fun. The only thing that like I'm a little bit sad about is like the soundtrack, because like it doesn't sound bad, but it's not memorable the same way like it was, because there was like, I don't know, get into it, but like there was the whole thing that happened with Mick Gordon. But even then, like they got like Andrew Holsholt and David Levy, and they did soundtrack for the Ancient Gods like DLCs for Eternal, and they like also did like a really good job. It was like it just like a lot of the tracks that were very like memorable. I could like remember individual tracks and riffs from them for each of the levels. Versus like with Doom Dark Ages, like it doesn't sound bad, but like it's just like, to my brain it sounds more like oh, it's generic guitar sounds, generic metal sounds as you're playing through it. So it's like hard to like, it doesn't stick the same way like it does with the previous two games, which is like a little bit of like a letdown for me. I was kind of, well, like I heard like there's like some parts that are like sound pretty good that like I kind of remember a bit, but like not anywhere near to the level like with the previous two games, including the DLCs. But overall, like it's like a very enjoyable game. Like they put a lot of like care into it. They balance it like like pretty well. Like they made like the core gameplay, the core game loop like really, really good. Like once you learn the pairing, it's very, very satisfying to play. And there's a lot of like really cool environments. Like I don't want to give like too many spoilers, but there's like around like in the second half of the game, there's like set of levels which are like I really enjoyed like the visuals of them and like the theme and stuff. But yeah, it's a very good game.